Good afternoon, everyone. We shall be starting the session in the next 5 minutes.
Good morning, everyone. Has Principal Ma'am started? Has Principal Ma'am arrived? Please request, ma'am. Otherwise, please start the program.
Okay, sir, we'll be starting in the next 5 minutes. We are just waiting for more participants to join.
A very good afternoon to everyone. Today we will be having our very first pulse session, which is TY orientation. That will commence the final placement process with the TYs giving you an overview of the entire final placement process. Before we get started, I would like to introduce our principal, Dr. Pooja Ramchandani, whose expertise has always been our guiding light, and we are appreciative of her ongoing support and counsel. Unfortunately, Pooja ma'am could not join us today due to prior commitments. Now, I would like to introduce Dr. Naveen Punjabi, the Vice Principal of HR College and the Director of the Placement Cell. All of us know him as a very enterprising and enthusiastic mentor with a vision to ignite minds and awaken hearts. Sir, request you to say a few words.
A very good afternoon to all the TY students, our graduating batch, our brand ambassadors. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
This used to be the most trending question otherwise. I hope that we meet offline soon so that this trending question does not trend anymore. So we all look forward to meeting everyone offline as well soon. So the process is going to be mixed. Some processes are going to be online, some processes are going to be offline. So you need to be a little careful about which process is how. Please ask questions to your seniors so that they can give you some insights as to what the past experience has been. Please read the instructions carefully. That's my only request. If you read the instructions carefully, there's a high probability that the questions that you want to ask will reduce, because most of the instructions are self-explanatory and very clear. And last but not the least, that HR College Placement Cell is striving hard to get as many companies as possible, and we are one of the landmark placements provider. In the city of Mumbai, if not the country, if I may say, I think we are amongst the top 7 as per the analysis of the placement cell, as per few recent reports in India. And that's what my request is, that please the process very well. Once you understand the process, you can be able to achieve your outcomes. So with this note, I hand over the mic to the placement cell to take things forward. God bless you all. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for motivating us. The team working closely with the Director of Placements oversees all aspects and is mostly responsible for ensuring a seamless and effective placement process. We are honored to welcome the Joint Chairpersons, Ms. Vidhi Gorasia and Mr. Kshitij Sharma, the Joint Vice Chairpersons, Ms. Namita Makhijani and Ms. Khushi Rajpurohit, and the Senior Advisors of the Placement Cell, Ms. Smriti Kankani and Mr. Kush Kedia. I would now like to introduce the core team, corporate heads, Mr. Aditya Jain, Ms. Ritika Rathod and Ms. Arya Shah, student heads, Ms. Sanya Jain, Ms. Vedika Rani and Mr. Jignesh Sawant, documentation and research heads, Ms. Taruna Meghwani, Ms. Disha Pandya and Mr. Vihan Savlani. Moving on, I would now like the speakers to address the students.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vidhi Gorasia, the Joint Chairperson of the Placement Cell. Before we commence with the session, I would like to say that this session is going to help you understand the entire placement season, and a lot of your queries will be resolved till the end of the session. So I will request all of you to wait back and make sure that all of your queries are resolved. And please feel free to ask any of your questions and you can put them in the chat box. I would like everybody to turn on their cameras, and I hope we all have a very fruitful session. So the placement cell, as you all know, commences from late August with the pulse session, about which my team will explain you in detail later. Unlike internship drives, winter internship and summer internship, you will receive a schedule for all the prospected companies on board in the next 15 to 20 days. This schedule will be updated every 15 days with new on-campus companies. Post Diwali, we will commence with our off-campus along with the phase 2 of on-campus final placements. Now, major difference between on-campus and off-campus will be, in on-campus, all the companies' details will be selected by our team and then shared with the students from the dates of pre-placement talk till the interviews, while off-campus tends to do their process on their own at their own ease. Keep this in mind that off-campus does not mean that the company is of less status or a brand. In the previous year, the highest compensation that was offered was from one of the off-campus companies. So make sure that you take each of the process very seriously. Moving ahead, if we talk about the key steps of the final placement process, it starts with you all registering for the process, attending the pulse session, understanding various aspects within the process and polishing them through pulse session, reading the job description, its requirement carefully and applying in the companies you are actually and very keen in, and then undergo the selection process and show your best foot forward. Moving on.
Hi everyone, I'm Khushi Rajpurohit, the Vice Chairperson of the Placement Cell. I hope everything till now was very clear enough. As Vidhi said, every question and doubt would be answered in the last, so no worries about that. Starting with the pulse session. So the pulse session is nothing but a series of sessions conducted by various industry professionals. These sessions are conducted every year before the final placement season. These sessions help the students succeed in their final placement process. They will help you build confidence, etc. Attending pulse session is a great way to improve your chances for getting a job offer. Additionally, these sessions are free of cost and open to all the students. So there is no reason to not attend it. Now, I want everyone to listen this very carefully, that attending the pulse session is compulsory for all the students who have registered for the final placement season. The consequences of failing to do so shall make you a defaulter or for the further campus process. The criteria for defaulting and eventually getting debarred from the placement season would be explained in detail later in this session. Moving on, the schedule for the pulse session shown right here has already been shared with all the students who have registered for the final placement season on their given email IDs. Coming to the sessions which would be involved in the pulse session 2023, There would be a total number of 6 sessions, including today's session. Apart from today's session, the other remaining 5 sessions would be conducted by experienced industry professionals. So, so today's session is obviously the first pulse session where we will make you all understand of how everything works. We will make sure that all of you are well aware of the steps as well as the rules of this year's placement season. Coming on to the second pulse session, it would be conducted by Mr. Manish Punjabi on the topic LinkedIn networking for everyone to understand the benefits and importance of having a strong LinkedIn profile. Attending the third pulse session by Mr. Ashish Ferwani will help you gain insights into different career options, including consulting and the other industries. The fourth session by Mr. Priyank Ahuja will help you prepare for and ace interviews. The fifth pulse session by Mr. Tanvi Kokade will help you to be able to seamlessly appear for group discussions of any company's selection process. Now, the sixth pulse session is a very, very important pulse session because we all know the importance of resume while getting shortlisted for a particular company. So the sixth pulse session by our very own Dr. Naveen Punjabi, the Director of Placement Cell, the Vice Chairperson of HR College, shall help you gain tips on drafting a resume that will stand out and thereby improving the chances of you getting shortlisted in a particular company. Now with this, we are done with the pulse sessions. I would like Smriti to take over.
Smriti, you're not audible actually.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So I'm Smriti Kankani, Senior Advisor of Placement Cell. Now we'll be talking about the selection process. Let's come to our ideal process starts with the pre-placement talk. Here the company will address the students talking about the company, what they do, briefing about the vertical they are offering, uh, diving deep into each profile along with an understanding about the CTC. This is an optimum avenue where the registered students to clarify all their doubts and gain a clear understanding of what to expect in their day-to-day role. Now, each company has their own set of criteria for the process. Aptitude test is one of the most prominent and eliminating round of the process. It generally questions of like basic quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, data interpretation, psychological questionnaire, and some technical question to understand the intelligence of the student. Make sure each one of
Excuse me.
you.
Excuse me.
Hello.
Excuse me. I have a question. Uh, Aptitude test. Do they
I mean,
ask us
sorry to
questions?
cut you in middle. I feel we can take the questions in the last.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, so each one of you should make sure that you are well prepared for the test, and these marks will play a important role for the final selection. Now, another method to assess how student thinks, their thought process, attention to detail, communication skills, patience is through group discussion. A medium where a group of students sit together, they are given a topic in an open ring, and the way he or she acts will be the deciding factor for the company. So, followed by this, there are multiple interview rounds to make the corporate understand about your technical and non-technical skills. Now, going forward.
Thank you, Smriti. So moving ahead to one of the most hot topics the crowd has, debar and default. As a democratic student body, each student who defaults in a process, either by defaulting in the interviews or in general during the process through various actions or non-actions, they will be given a chance to explain his or her reasoning behind the default. The student shall have to provide two documents backing up their statement to prove their innocence in order to remain in the process within the prescribed deadlines. If not, you shall be debarred. Each student will be given a chance, but not a second one. One thing I want to make extremely clear that furnishing untrue documents in your resume, Google form, or on the company's portal will lead to being debarred immediately, and even if an offer has been made, that will be revoked directly by the company. Even at times, the administration may have to take strict actions against the student depending upon the scenario. So proofread every document, every response you fill very wisely. Moving ahead, each part of the process is important for the student and for the company as well. As mentioned by my team, what role pulse session and pre-placement took place, it is mandatory, as already mentioned, for all the registered students to attend pulse sessions as well as the pre-placement talk of the companies they have registered. Failing to do so, you will be defaulted. Now, especially when it comes to interviews, any kind of misconduct, misbehavior, disrespect, non-cooperation, or anything which harms the reputation of the college, you will not just be debarred, but you will be asked to provide a written explanation in front of the director or the principal. So I highly request you to please understand the seriousness of how well you behave in front of the corporates. Also, one thing I would like to mention here that on-campus phase 1, off-campus, and on-campus phase 2 are a part of a single process. So being debarred in any of the mentioned processes will remove you from all the prospected companies coming overboard. Before Namita takes over, one thing I want to make very clear right now. People who have registered and the crowd who is interested in registering right now, keep this in mind. No excuses when it comes to club commitments. Club meetings with any authorities, whomso it may be called, is not an admissible excuse. I highly feel that if you are not serious for your placements, neither should us or the college should be. We all are adults here, and I expect this bare minimum effort from each of the students seeking placements. Over to you, Namita.
Thank you, Kshitij. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Namita Makhijani, the Vice Joint Chairperson of the Placement Cell. And we all are sitting here for, with the objective of getting a placement from the college. And while you are aiming for that, you're obviously excited as well as nervous at the same time. Little bit here and there, everyone is. But what we suggest, highly recommend, as Naveen sir also said, reading instructions and abiding by them is the most important thing that you can do so that your process, at least from your end, is seamless. And right now, I'll be discussing few points from our policy, which are important to remember as well as follow as and when the time comes. The first and foremost point is only bona fide third year students of the college are eligible. You all are third year students. We are conducting the two phases as well as the off-campus placements for y'all. And it is only limited to the students of HR college. In the past, we have had incidents where students from our college give link to students from other colleges, ki friend hai ye and all this, which is not allowed. If we find anyone doing this, not only will you face action, but also you will be debarred from the entire placement season. So just to help your friend, don't negatively impact your own placement. Next point, always keep an eye on your mailbox and spam or junk folder. Once you're registered, all the communication that happens will be through your mails. Either the mails will be coming from us or from the company. So when you know that you're registered and you're expecting a mail, you have to keep a check and on your inbox as well as spam and junk folder, because some mails might land up there. So we cannot entertain any excuse that you did not read any mail, as we are making it clear that you have to keep a strict check on your mails. Coming to the next point, strictly abide by the deadlines. You have application deadlines, you have aptitude test deadlines, you have assignment deadlines. All these have to be followed as mentioned. No extension will be provided to them. Coming on the other side, confirm your presence by acknowledging to the mails. Now, once the process begins, before it, we will be sending you all a schedule. What process is going to happen when and at what time. Wherein we also mentioned that students are requested to acknowledge the mail to confirm their presence. And this is very necessary so that we know that you are going to be there on time. Next, follow the prescribed formal dress code compulsorily. We have mentioned it for the pulse session as well as it will be the same rule for your processes ahead. You have to be in formals, blazers included. From top to bottom, you should be presentable in front of the company. No sports shoes, and even for girls, no open toe sandals will be allowed. Closed formal shoes and blazers, of course. And overall, you know how you should make a first impression. So of course, you know better. You don't want to impact that only because you did not dress up properly. Coming on to the next point, be present before time, not on time, but before time. According to the mode of the process, we prescribe you to come either 5 minutes early or 15 minutes early so that while settling, the time is not wasted for the process. All that is done before. Next slide. All the important information should be accurate. As Kshitij said, if we find any discrepancy in the information provided and the reality, you will be debarred. So to avoid that, at all points in the placement process, you have to make sure that all the information that is being provided from your end, be it any certification, be it your scores in various exams or anything, you have to make sure that it's accurate. Next, go through the process of the company that you have applied for mandatorily. Now, when you apply for the company, you must have full intention to get a place over there. You cannot say that I did not want to get placed over there and then you don't attend the process of that company. If you're applying, it is deemed that, of course, you have the intention to be in that company. And so it is mandatory for you to go through all the steps of that company's process. Next point, deregistration. Now, deregistration is something where you first apply and maybe after the pre-placement talk, if the company allows, you can deregister. Suppose the profile is not your fit. But this is an extreme option and it is not applicable to all the companies. So our suggestion always is you make an informed decision before you apply for a company. Take all factors into consideration and then apply. Next, all important documents should be in order on the day of the process. Now, if you're going for an offline interview, for on-campus companies, it will be in college, and for off-campus companies, it may be in the company's office. We give you a list of documents. It could be copies of your CV, your photographs, and other certifications, as well as your ID card. So all these should be in order so that there is no confusion at that point of time and you don't waste time on the day. Everything should be in order beforehand. Next, ensure stable network during virtual processes. Now, some processes will be in college, but the others that are online or even your aptitude tests that happen online. You cannot say that you did not have a network connection or you were not in a network region. You have to make sure that you are in a stable network and only then you sit for that placement. Like beforehand, you should ensure that you have a proper network so that there is no issue during the process. Next, communicate any doubt regarding job specifications during the PPT or interviews. So in both these processes, you have a Q&A round, of course, wherein you can ask your doubt. If you ask us about some job specifications, we may not be the best people to answer because the company is the one who is offering the job and they know everything about that profile. So our suggestion is whenever you get the chance to communicate with the company or its representatives, you clear the doubts there and then itself. Moving on. Do not directly contact the company or any of its representative. Now, when the process is going on, of course, that time you can communicate with them. But other than that, you're not allowed to separately contact them via mail or via LinkedIn because we are the ones who are communicating with them and we are the link between you and the companies. So any doubt except from the PPT and interview, which could be some general doubts, that can go through us, and otherwise you have PPT or interview option, but you cannot directly contact the company or any of its representatives. Next is a very important point where many students do get confused, so kindly pay attention to this. One placement offer per student. Now, one student can apply in as many companies as he or she wants till the time he is not selected anywhere. Once the offer is given by the company, the student has to accept it, or if they reject it, we will not be providing any further placement opportunities to that student. For us, if the company has offered the student's placement is done. Okay, because we have so many people to offer placements and we cannot be giving more than one opportunity to each student. So it is compulsory for you to accept, and even if you reject on whatever grounds, it is not going to be considered ahead. Next, accept the offer on mail within the stipulated deadline. Now, the company tells us to give your confirmation back to them within a particular time. So when we mail you, we mention the deadline, which is again a deadline which you have to follow strictly. Sometimes the offer letter is attached wherein you have to sign your offer letter and mail back to us. So all this should be done in the proper time period. Then be respectful and maintain decorum while communicating. So this is not limited to the company representatives during your process. It also applies to the placement team members. We are working for your placement, so we at least deserve respect from your end. And so you have to be patient, be calm. Even we are working, if there's any kind of time gap between two processes or some upgrade, we know that as well. And we are continuously following up with the company from our end as well, because we know the importance of it. So you have to be mindful about that and respect us while communicating with us or our team members, and as well as with the companies. That goes without saying. Next, remain on campus till the process is going on. Now, when there are offline processes being conducted, before we don't say that you can go, you cannot. Okay, that is the policy. You have to be on campus because the company's process is still going on. They might have any on-time changes wherein you might be needed. So it depends on the company, and that's why you have to compulsorily be on campus. Last point, maintain confidentiality about other company or recruiters. Now, this doesn't happen often, but in case it happens that the company or any of its representative is asking you about other companies that have come on campus, you cannot reveal. You can directly say to them politely that as per our policy, we are not supposed to reveal any details about other companies or recruiters. You can directly state that because that is our policy as I'm discussing it right now. So I hope these main points are clear, and the other points of the policy you can find by scanning this QR code. In case you have any doubts, we'll be opening the question and answer forum now, and you can ask. And here we might have some students who have not yet registered for the phase 1. So we highly recommend that you do, as one company, that is KPMG, has already been circulated. So if you register now, you still have a chance to apply for it because its deadline is tomorrow. As well as another companies will start circulating soon, with the details about which will be mailed to you as soon as you register, and then the application forms will follow. Lastly, if you have any queries anytime, you can reach out to us on our email ID. We also have our Instagram and LinkedIn IDs where you can follow us for updates. Now we'll be opening the forum for questions. You can put it for everyone or to the co-host, and we'll reply one by one.
I have a question. What kind of questions do they ask us in the aptitude test, or do they ask us related to our course, or like it's a general knowledge questions?
Well, they are general knowledge questions. You may have initially basic questions, let's say aptitude to understand your quant. So you may have questions which are of higher maths. Along with that, basic logical reasonings, permutation and combinations. Along with that, some psychological questions to understand how you perceive things, what are your priorities as an employee. And along with that, you may have some basic interpretation questions. What you can do is you can find it on internet. Let's say if you are applying for KPMG and you want to understand how the aptitude test of KPMG would be, you just have to go to Google and you have to write KPMG aptitude test, and you will find 10 and thousands of sample aptitude tests which are furnished by the brand, as well as the people who have cracked the aptitude test of such sort. So I feel that would be a better fit and it would give you a better understanding of your question.
So it's general knowledge questions like that you are saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so they can do general aptitude, group discussion or interview. That is what you are saying also.
Well, it totally depends upon the process of the company, how they want to take it ahead, whether they want to include group discussion on it or not. But as per the aptitude test is concerned, those are the basic criteria.
And for interview, it is the questions are related to our course, or they are also general knowledge?
That would be related to the job role which you are applying to.
Okay, thank you so much.
We have to strictly follow the sample resume format or not?
That is a recommended format. It is not mandatory to use that particular format. You just have to see one thing and keep one thing in mind, that the file name should be the prescribed one, which is name, surname, and your course.
Okay, hello. I wanted to ask, like for certain companies, there are 2 to 3 days of their campus placements in the schedule which you have sent. Like for KPMG, it is like 3 days. So we have to be present on all the 3 days, or only the day which for which we are scheduled.
See, let's say if we talk about KPMG, we have 3 days. The first day is for the pre-placement talk where all the students who have registered will sit. After that, you have the aptitude test. Now, after the aptitude test, the students will be shortlisted. So the shortlisted students for the interview, only those students will have to sit for the interview process, which will happen in college. So it will depend upon your candidature. It's not a flexible date. It's a date designated to a particular flow of event.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, I had a question that if I have given 3 interviews and I have, say for example, I've got offer from all the 3 companies, but I need to reject 2, right? From that because I need to choose one. So I'll choose the best one. So in this process, that if a company gives me an offer earlier and one gives me late, so would I be debarred if I do not select the offer?
See, in this scenario, you have to select the first offer which has been offered to you, irrespective of the pay, profile, and the bill. Not the first one you registered in, but the first one you got selected in.
Okay, so means I won't be getting an option of the rest too.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
I wanted to ask if I have an ATKT in one of the subjects in semester 3 and my semester 4 is all clear, am I still not eligible to apply?
Khushi, do you want to take this question ahead?
Yeah, so in case of ATKTs, you have to clear all the ATKTs before sitting in the placement. And apart from that, every company has their own criteria, the particular threshold for percentage, like 60 percentage, the students who are securing at least 60 percentage or the particular number of CGP are eligible to apply. So that is where you can find that in the Google form or in the job description of the companies. Otherwise, the ATKT people are not allowed to sit for placements.
Means it depends from company to company's policy, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Yes, honey.
I have a question. Like, there are 2 pulse sessions which are going to be offline mode, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So, like, I'm currently outstation. So, like, is it possible that they can be hybrid or can be streamed online as well?
No, so it is compulsory for everyone who is registered for final placement season to attend all the pulse session, be it online or offline. And in case you are not attending a particular session, you will be defaulted from the final placement season, which can eventually lead you to get debarred from the session final placements as well. So it is better that you attend all the sessions. And the on-campus process has started, so it's better that you come back to Mumbai. Other people, yes, honey, you can ask.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, like, I haven't registered yet for the placement. Can I register now?
Yes, yes, you can register.
Till what time is the link on? Like, till what date?
It is open for now. It is open for now. Post the pulse sessions, we will definitely, like today's pulse session also, we can, close the form. And if you're missing any deadline, you can mail us on the given email ID that you've missed the deadline. We will open the form for you and you can register for the same.
Yeah, so I haven't filled the form, but I want to apply for the placements now, so I can fill the form, right?
You can
And
check if the form is open. If it is not, you can mail us. We will open the form and then you can register for the same. Okay?
Okay. Also, one more thing, my friends have received mail for some of the companies. So now I'll miss those companies, or will I get to apply for those companies as well?
You might get some companies mails, but the mails which were already sent, I don't think that they will be sent again to you because you missed the deadline. So we cannot, keep sending the mails to every student who registers or who misses the deadline. So you can register now. I assure you that the companies that are coming after today or today, from today, you will be getting the mails.
Perfect.
That
Okay,
won't be a
thank you.
problem. Yeah. Rahil Shah, yes, you can ask.
For the companies which we register, then that only we have to attend pre-placement thoughts, no?
What?
For the companies which we apply, then only we have to attend the
Yes,
pre-placement talks.
yes. Once you, okay, so if a particular profile interests you, you will apply to that company and then you will have to, follow entire process. Like if the company wants to conduct a pre-placement talk, that is a PPT, you will have to attend it. If they want you to sit for, or if they want you to give aptitude tests, you will have to get that. You will have to give that. And if you get shortlisted for the interview process, you will have to be there.
Okay. And what
And if
kind
you
of
back out, yes.
what kind of doubts we can ask in pre-placement talks? Questions.
Everything about the company or whatever doubts you get during the pre-placement talk or about the profile, you can ask about that.
Examples?
Maintaining the decorum as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Janisha?
Hello. So, what would be the timings of the Pearl session? Because the starting timing is mentioned that they'll start from 11 p.m. or 4 p.m. But at what time will they end?
The sessions would be, they are 1 hour sessions, but it might get extended to 1 hour or 1 hour 30 minutes. That depends. But it will be a 1 hour session for sure.
And will the selection process can you guys ensure that the selection process won't clash any of our college exams, like the internal assessment test that's going to happen like next week
They
for
will
the
not
TMAs?
clash with it. No, we'll make sure that they do not clash with your internals.
Thank you.
At least the timings would not clash. That I can assure.
The days may clash, but the time won't clash.
Yeah, the timings won't clash. Suryakant? Should I just address it? I'll be back in.
Okay, so my question is like if I get a placement offer from some company and I have already applied for 2, 3 companies. So I am hopeful that the second company will also be offering me. So if I reject the first one, will I be, eligible for getting the second mail? I mean, if I reject the first one, it's not a problem if I'm still waiting for the second company to give me offer, or is it?
See, there are two parts of your question. First thing, as in when you get selected, you will be removed from the further process. It means, let's say if you have registered for 10 companies before that, the companies will know that this guy has been selected and further they will not move your candidature ahead. So if they'll not move your candidature ahead, you will not get a second offer. And secondly, if you decline that particular offer, you will be debarred from that process. So in all, you will not receive any further updates as well. As Namita mentioned in the PPT, one student will receive only one offer. I hope that answers your query.
Oh, okay, fine.
Okay, thank you.
Mona, you can ask your next question.
Will phase 1 companies be back in phase 2? Like I have my actual papers in the coming week, so I won't be able to appear for the companies that have come this week. So is it possible that the companies can come in phase 2 again?
See, we cannot assure that the same companies would be coming in the phase 2 because now the companies have openings and they've started their campus placements. It might happen that by phase 2 they're done with their placements. So we cannot assure that the companies would be repeated. And even if they come again, it completely depends upon their availabilities or their vacancies. Otherwise, we cannot assure that it will be back again in phase 2.
Hey, can I ask?
Could
Yeah,
we just
please
a
go
minute?
ahead.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Janvi, can you? Okay, Nivan.
What if I don't have to apply for a company?
If it does not interest you, you cannot, you don't need to apply. That's not a compulsory thing. Like if KPMG is coming for a finance profile, me being a marketing student, I won't apply.
So will I be debarred from the further process?
No, you won't be.
Okay,
If you
thank you.
back out or you reject an offer or something, other than the basic things happen, then you might be debarred. Nivan, you can ask.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I had a question. Suppose I'm a BMS finance student and marketing roles are open right now for HR college students placement. Can I apply for those roles? Like, is there any restriction?
Yes. No, there is no restriction, but if you have the selection would be might be a problem because the companies would prefer finance student, but if you have experience, if you have done internships prior, so they might select you. But there is no criteria by the placement cell that you cannot apply to the profiles that are not as per your course. So you can apply to that. That's
And
not a
just one
problem.
question. Sorry for
Yes.
sounding a little
No, no.
unenlightened, but which companies have come so far? Like, I think I applied a bit late. So if you could just tell me a few companies have already come and
We
I've like missed
sent a
it.
schedule. We've
Yeah.
also sent a schedule, and if you had applied yesterday also, we had again sent the schedule to all the students. So you can refer to that. Those are the fixed companies who will be coming on campus. So you can refer to the schedule.
Okay, thank you so much, Khushi.
Okay. Khushi,
Hi.
you can ask. Khushi, Param, I cannot.
Uh,
I'm sorry.
yes, I had a question. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, you are.
okay. One of these pulsation, a few, I would say these
You're not
pulsation
audible
dates
now.
are colliding with my
If you're
You're
not
not
audible, it
audible
would be
now.
better if you write your question in the chat box.
Yeah.
Also, there are a lot of
Hello, am I
questions.
audible now?
Yeah.
Yes, a few of these pulsation dates are colliding with my exams, which will be this week, and I might not be able to attend a few. Will that be okay?
Okay,
Yeah,
so
same for me.
if you do not attend a particular session, we will be sending you a mail, mostly a warning mail. So therein you can give us the reason why you did not attend the pulse session. If it is valid, you will be considered. If it is not valid, the reasons won't be considered.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Purvi, Nivan, you can raise.
Yeah, so
Okay, yes,
yeah,
Purvi.
can I ask?
Sure.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, like, when will the placement 2 phase begin, and will it be clashing with the competitive exams like CAT and Z, the people who are appearing for competitive exams in November and like
I
mid-January?
guess we had included the entire timeline of the process. Vidhi, you can answer this about the off-campus and on-campus and the phase 2 as well.
So the phase 2 will begin post semesters like around Diwali, and there might be chances that they will be clashing with your examinations. We will try to avoid that, and in such situations, we usually approach the company and make sure that the same dates are not clashing. But there is no guarantee that it might not happen one day before it. So just make sure that you are updated on all the dates and the timings of the companies that are coming on board.
So basically, you're talking about the off-campus placements, right?
No, I'm talking about the on-campus placements, phase 2.
Okay, so they won't happen after December, like by any chance, or like
The
they'll
phase 2
be
will
happening.
be continuing in December as well. It will start in November. It will be continued in December as well. But I'm just saying that if you are appearing for CAT, which is in November, and if I'm not wrong, there are chances
Yeah.
that process will be conducted a day prior or 2 days prior that. We can just make sure that it's not on the same date.
Okay, so we have to be in Mumbai. Like I'm an
Yes.
outstation student, so
So if the
okay.
company is conducting the process offline in college, you will have to be present in college.
Okay, and one more question I have, that in case if a company is giving me job offer, I get a college, so then will I be able to reject the job offer if I get a good college afterward? Because the results will be out in the week of January of all the competitive exams. So will I be able to reject the offer after my results are out?
As mentioned before, we do not entertain or we do not want the students to back out or reject on any grounds, because you are only applying because your profile is the profile that is offered is interesting you, and only then you are applying. And on other grounds, if you are rejecting, then just make sure that you only apply if you want to continue and you want the offer. Don't apply just because as a backup option is what we all would suggest.
Okay, cool. So basically the placement second phase will be like around November and December, right?
Yeah. If you want, we can just share the timeline again, and y'all can take a screenshot of it so y'all can understand and know when which phase 1 is going when and when the phase 2 begins.
Yes, please. Okay. Thank you so much.
Kshitij, can you please screen share?
Vidhi, also in the meantime, there are a lot of students asking questions about the difference between on campus and off campus. It would be better if we can run them through that as well.
Sure, we'll do that. So a major difference between on-campus and off-campus will be that in on-campus, all the details that are shared by the company, the details will be selected by us, and we'll make sure that you guys are known and well aware of all those details, starting from the pre-placement talk till the end, like till the interviews. The entire process will be shared to you via mail, and all the updates will be regular. Every day, if there is any change, if anything that the company mentions, will be communicated to you. But in off-campus placements, the company directly coordinates with the students, and the company's process is entirely done by them at their own ease. The placement cell is not involved over there. We just get an update regarding if there is any shortlisted or if there are any selected students. Until then, the entire coordination is done by the company directly to the students. And one more thing, do not think that off-campus companies are not good or they are not a well-known brand. All the off-campus companies, or major of them, are well-reputed firms. They are good brands. They are not low in stages. One thing that I would like you all to know is that the previous year, the highest package that was offered was an off-campus company. So yeah, that's the major difference between on-campus and off-campus. And post Diwali vacation, we will commence with our off-campus as well as phase 2 of on-campus final placements.
Should I ask?
Purvi, I guess it was clear enough for all the ones who had doubts regarding the off-campus, on-campus, phase 1, phase 2. I guess it's clear right now.
Yeah, it's clear.
Also, whosoever doubt has
Purvi,
been
would you lower
cleared,
your hands?
yeah, please lower your hands.
Honey, you can start with your question.
Yeah. So I had just 3 questions. Number one, if I have applied for the phase 1, like if I now apply for the phase 1, then I can go for off-campus also, right? That doesn't matter if I have applied for the phase 1 or not.
Yes, you can apply for off-campus unless you are getting an offer in the phase 1.
Yes, okay, that is clear. Second point, we have examinations during the KPMG, like whatever the deadlines have come and whatever the timeline is. So, like, will you all take this into consideration that that does not affect our examination timings and dates? Like, will that be considered by placement cell or the company?
The timings will not clash from your examinations. That we have taken into account.
But date will be like
the date will be. As
okay.
it's first, as you all know, first most of us have the examinations. A very small pool has 2 examinations. The most of the latter will get the examinations done by 10:20. It's an online MCQ base. So most probably, if in case the process starts, it will be around 12 or 11:30. So you will have 1.5 gap between your examination and the process.
Oh, thank you.
But we have to commute to college in order to like if there is offline session, we have to commute to college. Like we stay a little far. Like I stay in Kalyan, so I need to have more time to in order to come to college before like after the exams also.
See, at times, such conditions, firstly, what I would prefer is, as it's an online exam, it would be better if you can directly give it from college or near college. If not, if there's an exigency, then we may have a word with the corporate to adjust some of the students. But for such scenarios, you may have to inform us in prior, and it will depend upon whether the corporate agrees or not. To be practically honest, the ideal thing would be that you come to the college and then give your examinations. The lectures even right now is in the morning. So I feel the people who are going will have a habit of waking up early in the morning and coming to the college.
Sahil, you can ask your question.
Ma'am, actually, I got an
Sahil, you're not audible. Your voice is cracking.
So am I allowed to? Hello?
Sahil, you can turn off
Hello,
your
am I
camera
audible?
and then say.
Hello, hello. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, I am audible.
Ma'am, actually, I got an KT in SEM 3 and I have cleared it. So am I allowed to sit in the placement procedures?
See, it will depend upon the
Hello?
company. Let's say if we talk about KPMG, so they have asked whether you have any current backlogs or KT, which you don't. But let's say if other company ask and have this criteria that the student should not have any backlog, then you won't be eligible for that particular company.
Okay.
So there is no
Okay.
restriction
Thank you
from
so much.
our side, but it depends upon the company's requirements, how and what kind of pool of students they are looking for.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Shruti, you can ask your question.
Yeah, actually, I have a doubt regarding the schedule of the companies that have come. So the dates that have been mentioned about like 23rd August, 25th August, and the 1st September about KPMG. So is it like 23rd is of pre-placement, then 25th is of aptitude, and then the 1st September will be of the interview?
Yes.
And the interview would be offline, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Muskan.
Yeah, I had a doubt that if I don't apply for any of the companies in phase 1, so then will I be carry forward directly to the phase 2 or will I have to register again?
You will be carry forwarded. You do
Okay.
all the students who have registered for phase 1, there is no need to re-register for phase 2. All your you will be added to the mailing list directly. You don't have to re-register.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I had a doubt. I have my exams coming up on professional papers coming up on 4th of September. So if the interview or like some aptitude test kind of thing just clashes with it, can you like adjust it or like is it possible to?
We cannot show that.
What are you
The
pursuing
process will
exactly?
happen.
Sorry?
What are you pursuing exactly, if I may know?
ACCA.
See, generally what happens is when it comes to the aptitude test, the portal remains open for a very long time, let's say 12 hours or for 18 hours. So you may have to find a good slot where you can fit in the aptitude test.
So like EY is, I guess, is coming on 4th of September. So like if I cannot attend that, if I can attend the day like next day, is that okay?
No. You will have to attend it until on the same day. They're not going to come again on the next day.
Okay.
Kshitij, do you want to add something?
No, it was completely fine.
Okay. Manav?
I just had a question. Before applying in any company, will we be able to see the salary offered by that company, and will that salary be equal for all the students selected in that company?
So we circulate a job description beforehand. You can go through the job description. You can understand it well. If you have any queries, you can feel free to ask us and we'll get in touch with you once we have a word with the company. According to the CTC, if there is any range mentioned and if there is anything mentioned in the bracket that is saying that it is interview based, so suppose if you are giving an interview and you have a good work experience because of internships and I don't have it, so there are chances that you might get 5 LPA where I might get in the range of 4.8. So this is completely up to the company and this is not according to placement cell or anything from the college end. And you can read the job description well. It is the CTC offer is going to be mentioned and all the other details like your eligibility, the location, everything in detail will be mentioned in the job description. So you can read it, you can proofread it again and only then apply if it is satisfying and of your interest.
Okay, thank you.
Next, you can unmute and you can just ask a question, Dhruv.
Yeah.
Arav's
I
query
just
is done.
wanted to know. There was a girl who asked about the competitive exams in for management colleges. So, but what she didn't mention was there are certain ones that happen like MHCET and all, which happen in March, whose dates have still not been announced. There is SNAP, which has not been announced. There's MHCT, which has still not been announced. So that ambiguity is still there. My only worry is if I've already registered for the process. If there is something that clashes with my entrance, like if I'm giving MHCT and I get a good college like JBIMS, do I and I get a and I have done the pre-placement docs with the company, the interview round has gone well, the company's offered me a job. Suppose I take up that job in the first round and I give my entrance later, obviously, because MHCT happens really late in March. And I also get through the college. What is the process I have to follow? Because I've already accepted the thing and I've got my college that I wanted. So what do I need to do in that scenario? Is
As I
my
mentioned before, do not apply if this is going to be a backup option. Only apply if you're sure and you want to get a proper work experience for a good number of years. If you are just applying for the sake of backup, that is not something that we would really suggest. And further, if Khushi and Kshitij can take it up.
Yeah, I'll just add one thing to it that as I mentioned, if in case of any exigencies you want to reject the offer, then
Yeah.
the only case would be that you have to get in touch with the director of placements, that is Dr. Naveen Punjabi. You have to provide a physical letter stating a viable reason. And if he allows, only then it will be taken into consideration. Otherwise, there is no chance of any student declining an offer.
Okay, and this only matters if I individually apply for each company, right? Would that come up through our emails to us? See, like right now, I have registered for the pre-placement process, correct, with the placement cell. If
Yes.
I suppose I don't apply to any company, this doesn't affect me, right? That's what I
Yes,
just
this
want to
doesn't
confirm.
affect you.
Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you so much.
So, Ani, I have a doubt regarding the dates, the schedule which you have sent us on mail. In EY, only two dates are mentioned, 26th August and 4th September. So the aptitude test is with the pre-placement talk or with the interview, or the dates will be announced.
The pre-placement talk and the interview process will be held on the same day, while 26 is for the aptitude test.
Thank you so much.
Anisha?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to ask if somebody wants to participate in the second phase of the placements and not in the first phase, is that also an option?
Yes, that is an option. If you do not want to apply for the phase one companies, that's completely fine because we understand they might not be according to the profile you are looking out for. And then you can just continue with the phase two. But we would suggest that everybody should apply for phase one so you all know which companies are coming on board and which profiles they are offering.
Okay, thank you.
Navya. Navya.
I wanted to ask that on 23rd, as I'm an outstation student, I'll be reaching Mumbai on 23rd. And also, pre-placement talk of KPMG will be on 23rd. So, what will the approx time of the talk so that I don't miss out on it?
You were not audible.
She's asking that she's an outstation student and she's reaching Mumbai on 23rd. KPMG's pre-placement talk is also on 23rd August. So what are the timings of the pre-placement talk as she is reaching on the very same day and she doesn't want to miss out?
It'll be in the first half. Okay, Navya.
Hi guys. I just wanted to ask one last question. I'll leave after this. Sorry. I wanted to ask, do the companies have a contract signed of any particular amount of years or something like that, or it is upon us? Yeah.
There are companies who ask you to, sign a bond, but it is not compulsory for every company that you apply. And if they are, asking you to sign a bond, that will be informed you priorly. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
Archie.
Yeah, hi, hello. So I just had one doubt if there is some discrepancy between JD and the pre-placement talk with any of the companies, and if there's like no option to deregister, so then what would be a way out for this?
I don't think there would be any discrepancies, but the thing is that after pre-placement talk, if the company is not allowing you to deregister, you cannot deregister. And if you get shortlisted after the aptitude test, or on the basis of your resume itself, you get shortlisted, then you will have to sit for the company. And if that company offers you, you will have to accept the offer as well.
Okay, so if it's the first company which has offered me, and if I take up on it, and if I don't take up on it, I can't accept the other offers that are there in line, right?
As Namita said, one student will get only one offer, one placement offer.
Okay, thank.
It's your choice if you want to reject it or accept it, but you will only get one offer.
Hi, I have a question.
Okay, Aditya. Wait, Namit.
Oh.
Aditya.
Okay, yeah. Hi. Firstly, thank you for this session. It was super smooth and organized.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, and I have two questions. Like, I'm a finance student, so can I apply for marketing role?
Yes, you can if that interests you, and if you have particular experience in the same profile, you can apply. That's for sure.
I'll just add on to that
And
point. Until and unless the company is not specifying that they want
Hmm.
only BMS marketing, or like unless and until there's no specification on the company side, mostly then all courses students are eligible to apply. So you could accordingly apply, and if you have relevant experience and skills, the company might select you as well.
okay, and yeah, in the time of negotiation, if we reject the offer, so that we can apply for another phase also, or then we are not eligible to.
No, as mentioned again and again, if you reject the offer, there's nothing that you will get from the placement cell. Also, as per CTC negotiation, if the package offer is 8 lakh per annum and you think that you have a good years of experience and you deserve 9, that is not something on the grounds you can reject the offer. You will have to accept on the basis that has been mentioned in the job description. CTC negotiation, if yeah, could you please continue?
Because before applying, we will share you a job description. Therein, it will be clearly mentioned about the CTC details. So if that interests you, you can apply for the same.
Okay, and like the KPMG is coming right now, so like they have a number, that this much students only they'll recruit, or like, what is?
No, they do not disclose the number of students or the number of vacancies that they have.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And one thing I would just like to add on to this, that CTC negotiations are not on the table.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Where is the aptitude and the interview for KPMG posted? The date? I can find it on the
Sonali,
mail.
just wait for a minute. Sonali, wait. Raise your hand and we'll
address your query then.
Kanak.
Hello, I have a one question. That phase 2 will only happen in December or it will continue in the further month also?
As per the number of companies that will be coming, the phase 2 will continue on campus. Furthermore, rest of the companies will be going on till the end of the year. That will be coming for as off campus. So phase 2 will definitely be going even post December. There are a good number of chances, but there is no surety. But we also have off campus, so don't worry if there are less number of companies coming on board for phase 1, because as mentioned, on campus and off campus is equally important.
Okay, thank you.
Aditya.
Yeah, I had a doubt that I have not yet received the schedule of the companies that have already come.
I could not hear him again. Kshitij, just.
Aditya,
Uh,
have you registered?
yeah, I have registered, but I have not yet received any schedule.
Okay. See, the thing is, there are many students, and I'm saying this generally for the students who will be registering as well, where they have not provided proper information either in their fee receipts or either about the status of their professional courses. The candidature of those students are as of now on hold, and it will take 24 hours to rectify them, and you will have your own update regarding the same.
Adding to
Okay,
this,
thank you.
we have been calling students if there are documents which are not submitted correctly, and certain details that I have mentioned are incorrect. So we are calling you, and a lot of students are not picking up. We don't mind your phone being on silent, but if you see any of us calling you, just please call back and revert back to them. We have shown you all the core members of the placement team who will be solely calling you. Nobody apart from us will be giving you a call. So if you see any of our names, please do pick up the call and please answer back, or just give a call back if you missed our calls due to whatever reasons. Because of this, if you don't pick up after our several calls, your candidature will be on hold. You won't be added to the list. So just make sure you revert back.
Okay, thank you.
Karishma?
Yeah, I just want to ask that the schedule we have received on the mail is the only that companies will be for the phase one or the more companies will be there.
More companies will be added.
Okay,
If
thank you.
we get more companies, we will send you a schedule as well.
Okay.
Okay. Harsh.
Okay, so my doubt is regarding this group discussion. So it's not mentioned in the schedule. So will it be conducted or not, or is it yet to decide, or is it up to corporate for KPMG?
Yeah. So KPMG mein there is no group discussion. There is a
Okay,
PPT, aptitude test, and the interviews only. If a company is conducting a group discussion, that will be informed to you prior itself.
okay, thank you.
Janvi?
Hello, good afternoon. Actually, my question was that we have already gotten a job description for KPMG, which has stated the CTC and everything. But for the other companies like EY and other companies that have been scheduled, we haven't yet received the job description. So, like, if I have already registered for KPMG, but I would like to know about other companies, so I can compare and I could know that what job profiles they are offering. So may I know like by what time like I would be receiving other companies' profiles?
I will take that question. So as per the schedule that is planned, you will be receiving one by one all the company's details. Okay, so you will be having the details, and accordingly you can apply if you find that role of your interest.
Okay, so basically like whenever the date is given of a particular company or 24 or 48 hours before that we will be receiving it.
Yeah, maybe
Not
much
any
before
further.
that as well. It will depend, and we will be like, just keep a check on your email ID. You will be receiving the companies shortly within this week mostly.
Okay, thank you so much.
Also, I'd like to add on one thing that the basic profile details has been already been shared to you in the schedule.
Yeah, that I have seen. I just had a doubt of like I could compare the CTC and like the what requirements are from my side. I just wanted to ask about that, but my doubt is cleared. I would be receiving it like 24 or 48 hours before the company. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. Parshva, if I'm pronouncing your name right.
Hello. Hi. Basically, I'm an international student and I have to travel back to my country for my visa renewal. So I won't be able to attend the offline pulse sessions happening, plus the uh, EY and the KPMG placement. So is it okay?
So the placement, since the mode is decided by the company, we cannot change it. So if you're like not available, then you might not as well apply, because in case if
Okay.
you default later on, we will obviously tell you that why you did not think about it before. And coming to the pulse session, which are compulsory, if you have a valid proof of you not being available on that particular day, whenever you get the warning mail, as Khushi had mentioned, you will get a warning mail if you're absent, in which we will
Okay.
ask you for a valid proof of your absence. And if you send that to us and we find it in order, then and no action will be taken, provided that the proof is valid with all the relevant details.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Thank you so much.
Rahil?
The aptitude test we can conduct it from home, no?
Yes, you can.
It's an online thing, so you can do it from your home.
And that the pulse sessions are clashing with the college lectures, so that can be adjusted.
No, it won't be clashing with the college lectures. It will be post college lectures only.
Yeah, offline.
Diva?
Yeah, so since I can only sign up for like a 1 year contract, and like if they mention in the pre-placement talk that they require a 2 year commitment from our end, so I'll have to deregister in that case, like if they don't inform in the job description before.
Well, the details regarding the bond will be already mentioned to you in the job description, be it a year, be it 2, or be it 3.
Okay,
So
fine.
there
So
won't
like
be
in
any changes in the bond details in the pre-placement talk, or in particular in the job description as well.
so like in the case of KPMG, like there's no mention of the number of years we
There is
need to
no
sign
bond
up
in
for.
KPMG.
So like if in the placement talk, if they say that you require a 2 year contract, so in that case I'll have to deregister. So it'll be fine.
Yeah, that will be fine.
Okay, fine.
The company is allowing you to deregister, so yes, you can.
Janan?
Hi. Yeah. So suppose I get debarred from phase one, can I register for phase two, or like I'll be debarred from the entire process altogether?
Once debarred, you will be debarred completely throughout the season.
Chetna?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
So, is it something like the companies are posted the schedule of this placement, the interviews and everything? Is it in an ascending or a descending order of the CTC amount or anything? Because if I want to compare, so how do I do that?
There is no, I mean, the schedule is not on the basis of CTC, first thing. And about the CTC, like we cannot, inform you prior ki EY ka CTC itna hai, KPMG ka itna hai. If KPMG ka profile and CTC is, interesting you can apply to that, but we cannot disclose the other company's details beforehand. And there is no such thing that we are, scheduling the companies in a descending or an ascending order. It is as per company's availability, and yeah, that is it.
And one more. If I apply for 2 companies and my aim is the first company to get into the first one, but I get an offer letter from the second company before, ऐसा कुछ होगा क्या? Or
It
will
might happen that the second company offers you first. So जो भी offer letter तुमको first आएगा, you will have to accept it. I mean, it does not matter that you applied it second or whatever is the scene. The offer letter that you receive first, you will have to accept it. If you're not accepting it, you're not eligible for the second offer as well.
You won't be eligible in journal after once the offer is given or rolled out to you.
So we cannot, yeah. So we cannot get any idea on the highest package or the average package.
So highest package and average package, so we every year post the reports and everything. But I mean,
You
during
can
the
find
year,
it on Instagram.
Yeah, so we
Okay.
have the last year's data on Instagram because this year is still in process, like it's just starting. So we cannot have the highest and average right now. It will be after the year ends because companies keep coming. So you can just refer the last years to get a rough idea.
Thank you. Also, did you just say that the CTC is not negotiable with the
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Hi, I have a similar question. So my CFA exam is on 25th August, and I won't be able to attend the session on that day. So should I mail the placement itself before the warning mail or after?
you can, I mean, we'll send you warning mail so you can send it by then, or if you want to inform us beforehand, you can. And if the reason is valid, you won't be, considered as a defaulter.
Okay, so it is okay to mail beforehand, right?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine, right, Kshitij?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Navya?
So as mentioned, PwC, everything, three of things will be online. So we can stick on to it, right? That nothing will be offline in the last moment.
Yeah, everything will be online. If it is informed priorly that it'll be online, we'll make sure that everything happens online.
Also, I'll be reaching on 23rd at 12 p.m. So if the pre-placement talk happens beforehand, so what should I do?
If you do not attend the pre-placement talk, then you're backing out from the process. So for you will not be considered for the further process any which ways.
No, but I'll be traveling, right? So how can I do?
That is, like we are informing you prior only. You can, reschedule your tickets or anything. But then we cannot, we had informed you way before the pre-placement talk was planned. Okay. Dhruv?
Yeah, I just wanted to confirm about the registration process. Y'all said that we need to re-register for if in round one you don't get any offers, you need to re-register for the off-campus and second round, or are you already registered for those through the first round itself?
I did not get your question.
You're already registered, you don't have to re-register again.
Oh, no, because there was someone who had asked it out, and I think
Yeah. Yes.
Kshitij had said that you need to re-register.
I said
I
you
was not
need
sure.
not to re-register.
So
Sorry?
one more thing, he said that you do not have to re-register. And another thing, when we circulate on the official WhatsApp groups, if you read it very carefully, the first statement mentioned over there is note, you do not have to register again if you have registered for the phase 1 already.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Urvashi?
Yeah, so I wanted to ask that the Pulse sessions timings are clashing with my internship. So is there any solution? And I have recently joined it.
I am sure they won't be that bad. They will be very supportive in terms of that. And you can just make sure that you can spare 1 hour for the pulse session, at least which are offline, which are online. And for offline sessions, we have already pre-informed you about those particular dates. So if you could just manage a half day or something like that, that would be good because pulse sessions are very important for you to know how to crack each and every level of the selection process.
Okay, so I guess it won't be, much longer than 2 hours. Is that correct?
Yes.
Also, one more thing. For example, if my interviews goes well, okay, and the aptitude test doesn't goes well. So in that case, will it affect much or not?
So most of the times the aptitude test is conducted before the interviews. So on that basis, the company proceeds with the students onto the next level of discussion. So if you have cleared your aptitude test with good scores or according to the cutoff of the company and you will proceed to the interviews, and that's not an issue. Kshitij, do you want to add something?
No, that was perfect.
Or Rishi, anything else?
Huh?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask if we get to know about the bond thing in interview round and we are not comfortable in signing that thing. So
If there
what
is
will be
any
the
kind of
process?
bond, they usually mention to it us beforehand, and that the same thing will be mentioned to you as well. So it's not something that will be all of a sudden announced to you.
So
Vanshika.
Yes, hello ma'am. Good afternoon. So my question was like KPNG has already mailed us their registration link and we have to submit our resume there. So will they shortlist our resume for pre-placement talk or everyone who have registered has to be present in pre-placement talk?
So for KPMG, everyone who has registered will sit for the pre-placement talk. Then they will have shortlisting on the basis of resume. Then you will give aptitude test, and on the basis of shortlisting, as per the aptitude test, you will be called for the interviews.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Suryakant again. Bolo.
So my question is like the Diwali vacation is on the way and I am an outstate student and I have already booked my tickets. So in case those dates and any session, any kind of company placement session is clashing,
Diwali
like
के time पे mostly the main days of Diwali, there won't be any session because companies को भी Diwali छुट्टी चाहिए. So mostly there won't be any. Diwali के पहले या Diwali के बाद there are high chances that the companies would come or the process would happen.
And as mentioned before, there are good number of chances that suppose Diwali is on 13th, the process is on 12th as well. So just make sure that you book your tickets accordingly.
The vacations, I mean the vacations that the college give, in during that we would not.
Yes.
I mean, we will try that we will not schedule any process during that time.
Okay, sir.
Manav.
So after accepting the job letter, when will we actually start working for the company? Will that be after graduation or
Yes.
at
Post your examinations, you will be starting with your job.
Mostly after the Sem 6 examinations only. If the company is saying ki immediate joining chahiye, if that is comfortable to you and as well as the college, then only these are very rare cases, but this might happen. But mostly after Sem 6 only you will have your joining date.
and in case we are in a bond with the company for a year commitment, and in case of any contingency, we leave the company.
That is up to you and the company, because over there we have the placement cell will be only giving you the opportunity. Furthermore, whatever happens between you and the company is between you and the company. If there is any compensation or fine penalty that has to, that has been mentioned, you will have to go through that.
And in
You will.
case there is no bond, so we can leave that anytime or
Again,
then
that is you and your company's role. I mean, thing because our role was to, get you a
Provide you,
job.
yeah.
okay,
So that we did, and after that is you and your company.
okay. Thank you.
And one more thing that I would like to say it in general to all of you is that if you're applying for a company, don't apply with that intention that you'll leave it after a month or you'll leave after joining, because that not only harms your reputation but as well as the college's reputation. If they see that the students of HR college are just joining and leaving, then maybe you guys are benefited, but for the coming years, the companies won't come on board again. They'll just make a note or just blacklist that HR college students don't stay in, or they just leave. So it's good if you don't leave it, because that's a impression that you should create, and even you should be proud of your college that is there. Janvi?
Yeah, if I don't want to apply for a company, so will I attend the pre-placement talk of that company?
If you're
Or
not
not?
registering for the company, you won't receive any mails for that. Only the students who apply for the company will receive the mails for all the process details and everything.
Harsh.
Hello, good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes,
you are.
So I just wanted to know that, so suppose if I get an offer from a company, okay, and if I reject it, so will I be eligible for further like phase 2 placement?
No, you won't be instantly debarred.
For the entire
And so I cannot apply in off campus also?
No.
No.
Okay, cool. Got it. Thank you.
Naren?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. I have two questions. If I have passed aptitude test, after that I am not selected for after interviews. So shall I be debarred from the
No,
placements further?
you won't be debarred.
If you're not selected, then you're still eligible to apply for the other companies.
But after interview,
Yes.
it's also
So
okay.
companies
And
not necessarily will select all the students who are appearing for the interview. They will select as per their criteria and as per the student's skills. So the ones who are not selected are still eligible to sit for the other companies.
and my next question is that for the criteria according to work criteria of the companies, shall be any training sessions will be held or not?
That varies from company to company. Mostly they'll mention that in the pre-placement talk, and if not, you can ask that question in the pre-placement talk itself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Harsh?
Hi, can you explain me about the deregistration process?
Okay, so once you apply to a company, so after attending a pre-placement talk, the companies have this thing. Either they allow you to deregister, like if after the pre-placement talk you're thinking that the company is not suitable for me or the profile is not suitable to me, then they give you an option if you want to register. Now this option is not given by all the companies. If they give you an option, you can deregister, but otherwise you cannot.
I would just like to add on one thing to it. So as in when the pre-placement talk is done, on the chat box, you will receive a link of the Google form for the deregistration, which will open for the next 15 minutes. So the students who want to deregister from that particular process, let's say, putting it in clear words, KPMG has allowed deregistration. So as and when the pre-placement talk is done, you will receive it in your chat box, and the students who wish to deregister can deregister within the next 15 minutes. After that, that window will be closed and nobody will be allowed to deregister from the process of KPMG.
Thank you.
Pratiksha?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so there was a question as do we have some more firms recruiting in phase one, or is it just the 5 scheduled? And Khushi, I guess, answered that yes, there will be firms coming in. So I just had to confirm that more companies will be coming in, or for sure, or is it yet to be decided or declared by the placement cell, or by when can we expect the schedule for the additional companies for phase one?
So as mentioned before, every 15 to 20 days, we'll be sending you a revised mail updating you about the new companies that will be coming on board as on-campus companies. So just make sure that you have a thorough check on your mails, and just in case if your mails are going to your spam or junk folder, make sure you have a check on that as well.
All right. And it's confirmed that the companies will be coming in for phase one, like more companies will be coming in.
We'll
It's not
update you.
confirmed. There is
Yeah.
no confirmation, but if there are some more companies coming in, we'll let you know.
All right. Thank you so much.
And don't worry if more companies do not come in on campus like phase one. There will be companies coming off campus. There will be companies coming in phase two. So there's
Because because a
problem.
lot of companies are planning their placements post September, October. So don't worry, there will be plenty of companies for you to apply for and the profiles you like.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Riddhi?
Welcome.
Yeah, hi. I just had a question. Like, the pulse sessions, some of them are mentioned as offline sessions. So, like, if I am not in Mumbai, so if I am at my hometown and I'm not able to attend some of the offline sessions, so like, will that be allowed? And I am still in the placement procedure.
So there are 2 sessions that would be conducted offline. All pulse sessions, you have to attend all the pulse sessions mandatory. It is mandatory for you to attend. And if you do not attend, it will be like you would be defaulted. We will be sending you warning mails as well. And eventually you might get debarred. And plus, the thing is that on-campus processes are going to start. So it's better that you come back to Mumbai. And lectures are also happening offline. So
Okay. Are there any tentative dates for the offline recruitment process to start?
So we have shared the schedule wherein we have mentioned all the processes that are going to happen offline. And
Okay.
even for the pulse session, we have mentioned which sessions would be offline and which sessions would be online.
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Yeah, welcome. Smriti?
Hi, I just wanted to ask that the resume thing that Naveen sir is going to tell us, it is the last session, but right now we have to submit the resume for KPMG. So is there any chance that we can get this information beforehand so that we don't miss out in the opportunity for KPMG as well?
We can try, but there is, mostly there won't be any rescheduling upon that pulse session. It will
One
happen
thing I
on
would
the given date only.
thing I would suggest, Smriti, is that a lot of our Instagram posts are based on how to draft a good resume, what are the do's and don'ts of a resume, what are the good tricks, what are good tips, everything that has been covered on our Instagram handle. You can just check over there. Another thing, we also provide you with a sample format under which there are good headings given that things should be mentioned in your resume. So you make sure that all those things are covered, and a lot of things that have been uploaded on our Instagram page should also be covered, is what we would suggest. And feel that covering all this, you can temporarily make a good ideal resume that you would like to submit.
And one more thing I wanted to ask about the CTC. Is there any chance that you guys can provide us beforehand? Because supposedly, if KPMG's registration is ending tomorrow, and if after the pre-placement talk, EY comes with a better CTC and better job description, though the job description is given before, all are preferable for me individually and also for others as well. But if for the comparison of the CTC, if we have before, because it should not happen that we apply for KPMG, but our thing is more towards EY, but we already sat for everything in KPMG, then it will become a difficulty for us as well. So how are we supposed to manage in that situation? Because we get stuck from all the sides. We can't reapply, we can't re-register. Everything, we are getting stuck in one situation. I understand your point that you can't give placements or two offers to a person, but from our point, it becomes very difficult because we can't choose if we get two companies. We can't, apply anywhere else if we have already applied, and if we get selected, we can't choose. So what are we supposed to do in such situations?
So our average CTC is mentioned everywhere. You can have a look on that. All the companies coming on board are about and near those numbers only. And as per KPMG EY, all these are reputed brands. I'm very sure if the profile interests you, then the CTC should not be the primary concern. Rather than that, the job description, the roles and responsibilities, the good name, the work environment should be the primary thought.
Yeah, I
And
understood your point. Because the thing is that these three companies which have come, like the Big Four,
yes,
they already have the same job description, majority. Like basic is their criteria is very specific. So based on that, being a third person, obviously I will compare the CTC at a certain point, right? So that was my major concern, that if I get it, so it won't be a chaos for me also to, withdraw my name suddenly in between, which would not look good in my thing as well. So
See,
that's what I
talk
was trying to
specifically
say.
about KPMG. KPMG does provide something known as deregistration, which we have mentioned before.
Yeah.
Along with that, something which I would like to say very openly is that when it comes to placements, every student should have a basic acumen of taking risks. Because we cannot reveal all the information readily handed. There's a proper process and procedures through which all the details will be shared. At times, your choice, I'll be very honest, even if we consider the situation in a real-time manner, that particular position you are interested in, there is no guarantee that you will get selected in that position. So let's say if you are applying in KPMG and EY, you like the CTC of EY even more, but there's no confirmation that you will get selected in EY.
Yeah, I understood. That is the obviously there with everyone, but
yeah,
at a certain point for me to compare, there should be a ground, right?
See, we
That's what
cannot mention the CTC details beforehand. That is something that will be only coming to you once the job description is out. And as I mentioned before, it is going to be near our average numbers. So, and you can also compare it outside, like externally for market standards, or what are the current CTCs that are going in Big Fours or other companies. But coming to your question, there is no flat out answer that what will, if we can give you the CTC beforehand or not, we cannot.
And one more thing I wanted to ask. So I'm actually currently doing an internship. So is it feasible for me to address during the interview or any such talks that I am currently pursuing, or should I withdraw my name from my current thing and then put towards the companies that I already did that?
Internship wouldn't, no, internship does not create any hindrance in your final placements because you're doing internships right now to gain experience, and
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
seeking jobs after your third year, right?
Yeah.
So you can mention them that you are
Okay.
getting
So
experience. That
there
will
won't
be,
be a problem, right?
No,
yeah,
in
there
fact, when you
wouldn't be
put
any.
that
Thank
in your resume, that will be kind of an advantage if you
Yeah.
have similar
Yeah, that I
understanding.
understood. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you
so
so
that is not
much.
it.
Yes.
Urvi?
Yeah, so somebody asked this question before about the timeline. So December is the timeline of off-campus placements, but I wasn't clear enough. So can you tell me, like, if I'm not wrong, the last year placements were until April or so. So the next year, will it be like until March? Because, it started 1 month prior, if I'm not wrong. So,
Off-campus companies, once off-campus process starts, it will continue throughout the year, like as and when companies have vacancies, as and when they want the students, or whenever they want to conduct their campus processes, they would, communicate with us, and we would circulate the company. So that, from November till the end of the year, there would be companies coming in. And after the placement, phase two as well, the phase two will also extend till the end of the year. So there is there is restriction to only phase one, that it will only be happening in the month of September and October.
okay, so until December only, like it won't extend after that. I'm asking as, concerning about the exams also, the competitive exams. So after December, will, the tentative dates, or like it is until December? So if you sort
No,
of
it is
know.
not only until December. It will be extended till the end of the year. There will be companies coming in throughout the year.
Okay, so academic year you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Okay, thank you so much.
Janvi?
Yeah, so if I've applied for the placement process, will I get the letter of recommendations if I need any from the teachers and all? Like, that's allowed, right?
LORs you can get from college, but that you will have to talk to the office or your faculties.
Placements won't be helping you in this.
Yes, but like, it's not that if I've applied, I won't get it, right?
Yeah, that's completely up to the teacher in charges. Like you can directly ask
Placements
them.
and LOR are two different things.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Rahul?
How much do we have to score in aptitude test?
It again depends upon company to company. That is not something that is mentioned to us beforehand that we can announce it to you guys.
On an average?
It is completely on the company, how their process works, how their aptitude test is marked, and how the weightage is distributed. So it will vary accordingly.
MCQ questions are there, no?
Yes.
Archie?
So I had to ask, I had registered just before the orientation. So will I receive a mail for KPMG?
Yes, you will.
Okay, thank you.
Samay?
Yeah, I had a doubt. As you said, on 26th, we'll be having aptitude test of EVA, and on 4th September, we'll be having pre-placement doc and interview. So the aptitude test on 26th is going to be online or offline? Because
going to
we'll
be
be having an
online.
offline pulse session also, right?
It's going to be online.
So like, what will be the timings? Can you let us know?
So once you're back from your pulse session, you can come home and give your test. It is going to be open for 12 hours at least. And if in case it's not, we'll make sure that the timings don't clash with the pulse session.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Saksham?
The pre-placement talk of KPMG on 23rd, is it online or offline?
Online.
Okay,
It's
thank you.
mentioned in the schedule. You can read it. अच्छे से. Ekta?
Yes, if we want to deregister after the pre-placement talk, and as you say, like company varies, like some may give deregistration and some may not. So if they are not giving, then there is no chance of deregistration, right?
No, you will be basically backing out from the process, and that will, get you defaulted in the process. So
okay, thank you.
It's better if you don't back out.
And the deregistration criteria is mentioned in the registration mail itself. So if you see that it is not allowed, so you think carefully if you really want to apply or not. And then if you really want to apply, only then you proceed, because आगे चल के registration.
And in placement doc, they will brief about the job description also, or what they will do.
Yes, all the important factors will be discussed.
Okay, thank you.
Anika?
Yeah, so the thing is now only some companies have been disclosed for phase one and more are to be disclosed. And some companies will give you the option to deregister, but some won't. And
Yes.
we don't even have the choice that if we get like offers from 2 or 3 companies, we cannot choose. Only the first one which has been offered is what we will get to accept or reject. So like how will we make and like compare and make a decision like which companies and which roles do I want? Because what if I applied now and later on some companies are disclosed and then I realized that these are the companies I really wanted, but because I was not knowing about it, now I'm stuck with the companies that I have already applied and maybe I've got the offer.
See, primarily speaking, as this is one of the repeated questions, so the basic profile has already been provided to you with all the basic details. Okay. As of now, what I feel is the primary question with most of the mass has is about the CTC. One thing I want to make very clear, it will lie around the average. Secondly, as of now, what I can sense is the crowd has this feeling that let's say if there are two companies, one is providing 6 and one is providing 8. So you should not apply in 6 because there is an option of 8. But you have to keep that in mind about the competition in the company, about the criteria of the company and what they want in a student.
Okay,
The
that is
primary
right.
reason
Let's
you
say,
need to focus more on the profiles. See, let's say there's KPMG and EY. Nobody is stopping you from applying into EY. But if
that is right.
you get an offer from KPMG and you lost the opportunity of EY, that's the risk a student should be willing to take.
See, I get that. Now, yeah, the CTC will lie around the average. Okay. But there are only 5 companies that has been disclosed right now. There are more to
Yes.
come.
Yes.
Let's say the others which come later on.
Yeah.
There is a certain company that I have always wanted to get in, and they are also offering the job that I wanted. But because I am unknown to the fact that that company is coming with that kind of job, so I'm applying it right now for the companies that have been offered.
This so will keep happening once you, for example, if you accept, I mean, there is no situation that would happen like that, but if you get an offer from KPMG, then you reject that, then you for example, you got an offer from EY, you accept that, but then I mean later in the year there might be chances that some big company like BCG comes and that is offering बहुत अच्छा package and role, that also might interest you. Then we cannot just keep applying and then getting offer and then rejecting it, then going in the same loop. So you have an option to apply for as many companies as possible. It is very clear that you can apply to as many companies as possible, but once you get an offer you will have to accept it, and while applying make sure that you have complete and pure intentions of getting selected in that company.
Okay.
So Hani,
Yeah, so I wanted to ask that as you said for EY, we have aptitude test on 26th and PPT and interviews on 1st of September.
On 4th of September, not on 1st.
Yeah, sorry, 4th of September. So like as you told that after PPT we can deregister, but for EY we have already given aptitude test on 26th. So still we can deregister after PPT.
See, EY does not provide the registration procedure, to be very honest.
Okay.
And the companies which will provide it will be priorly mentioned to you in the registration form as well. Yes, Ekta?
As you said, like we don't have to directly contact with any of the members or employees of the company, but as the placement is not yet started, and if I want to send connection request and ask them about the like not much detail but the interview question and all such thing, the guidance I want to take from them, so can I do that, or is it like not allowed from your side or something?
Well, that you can do.
Externally you can.
That is okay. We are
Externally
speaking
you
about,
can.
yeah, we are speaking about the particular company for the particular role when it comes on campus. So that particular corporate, you cannot, contact separately and ask them questions, ki when will we get the update and all. All those things are supposed to go through us. But these things connecting on LinkedIn, that is your personal thing where you're building your own connections for your own benefit. So there you just maintain the decorum, be polite with them, be respectful. That is your personal thing. We won't interfere in that.
Okay, and one more question. If in during the interviews they ask like in which other companies you have applied, so we are not able to disclose, right?
Yes.
Say as per our policy, we cannot disclose about the same.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
I have received one question in my personal DM, so I'll just address that generally. So that question was about night shifts. So if at all there are certain things which are beyond, like apart from normal, such as night shifts or some timings that go beyond the regular hours, everything is mentioned before in JD. If you're not comfortable with that, you don't apply. If you're comfortable, only then you go ahead. So all these points are mentioned in the JD. Andrea?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask if there will be any marketing and HR job descriptions or companies that offer those like offer jobs in those areas. Will they be coming in phase 1 or should we expect them in phase 2?
So that is something we are approaching the companies. It depends on their availability and their plan for the year. If they are okay with coming in phase 1, they might come, or else in phase 2. But we try our best to bring them on board because we know that students are of that criteria as well, that they need these kind of profiles. In phase 1 or phase 2, there will be companies, but we'll be updating you accordingly as per their availability and confirmation.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
I guess we're done with it. Shiva?
So I had one doubt, like if 2, 3 people were asking regarding the CTC and stuff, that if the other company offers us more, etc., etc. I just wanted to ask, there might be like I've heard in other colleges, like they have something called as students are allowed to sit for those companies that provide double compensation or more. Otherwise, you have to take that offer and you're out of the placement process. So, do we have that kind of criteria, or we have to accept that seat?
No, there is nothing
Curious,
of
that's
that sort. And the thing which you have mentioned is generally works in these schools.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions?
Thank you to the speakers for this insightful session. It was very informative and helpful. I would also like to extend our vote of thanks to our principal, Dr. Pooja Ramchandani, and our vice principal, as well as the director of the placement cell, Dr. Naveen Punjabi, for their support and guidance. Students request you to fill the feedback form link present in the chat box. Thank you everyone for joining.
One last question which I have received in the chat box regarding ICICI specifically. So most probably ICICI will be providing a pan-India profile. In that you will get 1 or 2 preferences where you want to get located, but that won't be something very rigid from their part. It will depend upon the company's requirement in the branches where you will get placed, and your particular job location will not be something because of which you can decline the offer. Answering your second question regarding work from home or work from office. So any such things will be mentioned in the JD about the kind of location which the company is providing. Thank you,
I
Tanukri.
believe we can conclude for today.
Yeah, I think we can conclude.
Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you
See
everyone
in
for
the
joining
next
in.
call sessions.
Thank you so much.
All the best, everyone.
Thank you
So much.